Swapsy's going to be in a lot of trouble. Still has the Dark Regen available as well. Entangling Roots being thrown out onto Ryman, trying to lock him down as much as they can. A clone being casted as well. Now going for the Starfires. Ryman kind of getting chunked here, but he has the cloak. He gets dispelled from Doppel. Again, it's kind of a dispel game between Doppel and Gizmo. Whichever team can stay ahead of the dots is going to have more pressure. And now Ryman was fully dotted. Another Dispel from Doppel, removing all of that pressure. Doppel into the full bash. Maybe a Root Solar Beam, maybe a Cyclone out of this. Maybe they're trying to push for the... There's the Root Solar Beam. He's going to be sitting in there. He's going to Trinket it. Again, trinketing it late into the dampening, trying to make Ryman save his cloak for later. But a Fear onto Swapsy. Gizmo's kind of getting connected to, but he's not dotted. He should be okay with just Ryman. Ryman realizing that, immediately peels out. Shadow Steps back to Swapsy, trying to pressure him. And now the full blind onto Gizmo. Swapsy gets locked out on the UA. He's not going to be able to activate that Dark Regen for just a second. Now finally leaving the lockout to throw a Shadow Fury Fear onto Ryman, but he's fully dotted. It breaks instantly. And Swapsy's taking a bit of damage here, but Gizmo with full mana preps his totems, probably throw a Healing Stream down and a Windwalk, but he gets Kidney Shot. They are not swapping just yet here. Swapsy has to use his Hellstone. He's trying to save the Dark Regen, but now the Spirit Link has to come out as a result. There's cheap shots onto Alpro. He used his Hellstone. He used his Hellstone to try and help his team, so Alpro doesn't have that if they swap over to him later in the game. And now Gizmo dipping to about half HP again. The Gateway cooldown comes off. He runs to the Gateway. He takes the Gateway. Alpro with the Bash, the Cyclone, the Root onto Ryman, preventing him from connecting. Doppel, though, always answers with these offensive purges, and is just staying on top of Gizmo. I like the offensive play from Doppel. There's the Shadow Dance onto Gizmo. Might have to Trinket, but he used that Spirit Link earlier on Swapsy because he wanted to save that Dark Regen, which might end up backfiring. There's the DR cheap shot, another Hellstone used, as well as the Battlemaster. Healing Stream comes down, Unleash comes up, but he gets coiled on the Unleash. He has to Trinket a coil just to get the Aura Mastery healing off to top himself, and luckily Arcasia gets locked out on that Fear for Cross DC. Now going for the Fears onto Swapsy, but he's going to Unbound Will out of that. Unfortunately, he had UA, and he took a big chunk of damage for that. I don't think that was worth it. Doppel, though, taking quite a bit of damage, is going to answer the AoE pressure with his own Ascendance, and now Gizmo with the Windwalk Totem, with the Sprint from Alpro. They're cutting across the map. They just need to constantly drag Ryman. Don't let him connect. Don't let him keep all of his pressure going. Don't let him build his combo points. But he does get a clean Vanish. He's going to open up into Gizmo with that cheap shot. No Trinket available. Probably a Garrote follow-up. No Garrote. And now a triple Shadow Fury. Gizmo's going to be okay. Stone Form's available, and Ascendance comes up in 7 seconds. If he can live this swap and Ascendance comes up, he should be all right. There's the Stone Form. He's going to dispel dots as well, and there's no dots now. He's put into the Death Coil, 100,000 HP. That Ascendance coming up just now. Should he choose to use it? I feel like he should, but he gets hexed on it. 130,000 HP. He's got the Ascendance up. He's trying to kite out of LOS so he can get some free casted heals off, which he is right now. He gets step kicked. But I believe he actually fake casted the step kick, but now he's put into the Shadow Dance Garrote. He gets put into the Root full clone, though, and Gizmo's going to come out of that, but he gets cheap shot. His Ascendance is over. This might be it for Gizmo, but Doppel at the same time into the Root Solar Beam. Both Shamans being pressured pretty heavily, but Gizmo's taking the short end of the stick. He's going to have to drop the Spirit Link. Again, the Gateway cooldown coming off instantly onto his Gateway. Swapsy gating as well. Alpro gets locked out on the Cyclone, and Ryman, realizing that Alpro used his Hellstone earlier, he's trying to swap over to him, but he's going to Gateway as well. Now Ryman into the Roots, into the clone. Gizmo trying to recover, but he just doesn't have any mechanics to do it. No cooldowns available. Gizmo dispelling the dots, trying to do whatever he can, but as soon as Ryman connects, that next full stun and no Trinket might be the end. There's the coil. Bark's getting used on Alpro. Ryman connecting onto Alpro with the Smoke Bomb. He's going to Trinket out of that immediately. Shadow Meld, try and get into LOS of Gizmo from out of that Smoke Bomb. Ryman into the Root. He gets dispelled immediately from Doppel, and now Gizmo has a lot of work ahead of him with 41% dampening. Both Shamans kind of starting to get low on mana. Gizmo definitely taking the brunt end of it, while Alpro throwing out those instant cast Starfires, though, from Ryman attacking him, and now he's starting to get pressure. Doppel fully dotted, trying to pull back defensively, but he got UA applied to him with that Soul Swap. He's going to have to heal a little inefficiently here. Now Arcasia dipping kind of low, 90,000 HP. Shadow Dance comes out from Ryman just defensively. He's cheap-shotting the entire team. Now the Garrote onto Swapsy. He needs to get that Dark Regen up, but he can't. He's into the cheap shot. He really needs to. There's the Dark Regen to rejuve as well as the Trinket, and now Doppel on the back foot, 80,000 HP. He's got the Aura Mastery, barely keeping himself top right now. Both teams rotting. Doppel, 100,000 HP. There's the Hellstone Battlemaster having to be used. The Aura Mastery is fading, and he doesn't have Ascendance for 30 seconds, so it's going to be a lot of pressure onto Arcasia as well as Ryman if they can get Ryman dotted, because right now he's not. There's the Solar Beam onto Arcasia, locking the UA. There's not a lot of dots onto the LSD2, and this RLS now is falling behind. The LSD2 starting to claw their way back. The full kidney onto Swapsy, the cheap shot onto Alpro. They're swapping to him. He has Barkskin, but he's not using it. This is so greedy. He's in cat form, and he's not using it. There's the bash onto Ryman, though. Doppel's going to be able to heal himself with healing waves back here, but with dampening stacking at 47%, it's starting to look dire. There's the entangling root onto Ryman. He's trying to connect onto Swapsy and reduce whatever damage he can. And he's doing quite a lot to Swapsy. He's going to have to portal away a clone onto Ryman. Doppel trying to do whatever he can, spamming. There's the Ascendant's barely coming up in time, but he doesn't even have the mana to heal with it. He's going to have to heal with Riptides. That's not going to do a lot. And now the Shadow Dance from Ryman, though, but he's kind of starting to get burst on it. He doesn't have Feint up. He really needs to get that Feint up. There's the root onto him. Swapsy taking a lot of damage. There's the Hex on the Gizmo into the full off kidney. Full fear onto Alpro. The cross CC is so good right now. Swapsy at 50,000 HP. He's in a dire moment. 2,000 HP. He's going to go down. Really well played from both these teams, man. I miss RLS versus LSD2. I don't care if dampening's in it. I like that comp. I like that matchup. I think it could be a little bit
has
faster.
Always been classy.
Yeah,
It's
I think the game could be a little faster, but like the little mind game things that they're doing to each other, I like it.
Yep, for sure. I like this game. I really saw Ulpro spamming that fucking fairy swarm on the rogue. Since he's playing Shadow Step, it's really annoying for him. Like I was watching him, I was following him with my camera, and the rogue can actually not move until he has Shadow Step. So I think if the LSD2 just keeps running, keeps fairy swarm up, it's so annoying for the rogue.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, he's playing sub, so it's not like they can CC his buff or something. In the end, I really saw that both shamans struggled so hard when they got focused, and then it made them go pretty much instantly when they got focused. I think going shamans is actually key even for the LSD2.
Yeah. Well, it's a matter of finding a place where you're not vulnerable. Like you don't want to push in, get caught out, and then fall really far behind.
Yep. To be honest with you, I think going Shaman for the LSD2 is even better than for the RLS. I mean, RLS can kill streams easier and stuff, but the roots and the fears are always full on the rogue when they go on the Shaman, since the Shaman cannot really dispel the UA on CD.
Okay, but the RLS is going to move on 2-1. The LSD2 falling in that series. We are going to move on to the next one here in just a minute. It's going to be Bumblebee Cleave going up against Last Second. I'm just going to check and make sure what comps these people are playing. They can change the comps they're playing. So I'm just going to check and make sure. Bumblebee Cleave, another Moonkin team, man. Destro, instead of LSD2 with Affliction, it's going to be a Destro Lock and a Moonkin and a Holy Paladin instead of a Resto Shaman. And they are going to be going up against... Let me just get this again. Last Second, and they are playing... They're going to be playing Jungle Cleave. So that's interesting. I like that matchup, actually.
It's Jungle Cleave against...
Jungle Cleave against Moonkin, Destrolock, Holy Paladin.
I'm so excited to watch Destrolock. Like, I never saw Destrolock this whole expansion, I think.
It doesn't exist. It's a myth. Alright, it is a Resto Shaman Jungle Cleave. I just got confirmed. It's not a Holy Paladin. So I feel Resto Shaman... I don't know, because he's Destro. If he was Affliction, I would say Jungle Cleave wins. And it's weird, right? Because like you think Destrolock, it's weak. So they'd be at more of a disadvantage. But like in this specific matchup, I feel like Destro is actually better.
I'm not sure. I mean, Destros have the advantage that they're like so hard to kill. Yeah. Even in dampening, they have that huge off heal. But at the same time, I heard that Destrolocks don't do that much damage. So I'm not exactly sure how the Moonkin Destrolock is going to finish the Shaman jungle. I mean, it's a Shaman as well, so that means they can go deep into dampening. They can ground. They can support with purge. I think it's going to be so hard for the Destro Moonkin team to get proper setups and burst. And I mean, that's really all they have to do, because it's a Destrolock. They have to set up and try to one-shot somebody.
They have the Holy Paladin utility. Like, they're not playing with a Shaman, so they have Bop, they have Aura Master, they have Hodge, right? Hodge is really big.
Yeah, Hodge is huge. I'm not sure. I'm excited to see it. Maybe they can get something going with like Hodge and Aura Mastery cast or something. And the extra deeps from Holy Pally as well. I mean, Holy Pally actually has nice damage since the...
Yeah, it does. It does. And you could see Jim going for the denounces in that last series, and it also makes you unable to crit. Like it reduces your damage, it reduces your
Yeah.
healing, and it does damage. So it's a huge benefit. So these the holy paladins that are capitalizing on that, like I